Well, I come from a family of, my dad was a valedictorian, but he had also got involved in alcohol and became an alcoholic. And there was times when we went through situations of him trying to attempt suicide, and different things were going on. So life was kind of rough. And one time he tried to attack me and choke me. He beat my mom. He put cigarettes out of my sister. It was just, life was really going downhill. So naturally, my mother got a divorce, and we couldn't blame her for that. So she got remarried, and I had started going to college, and then it got to a point where she just kind of wanted her life to herself. So they went down and got a loan for $1,000, and they came back, gave me $500, and they said, hey, we're going to leave $500 here. We're going to give you $500. I want you to go buy a plane ticket and go to Houston, Texas. You got a cousin down there. He's working on the oil rigs, and you probably find yourself a good job. So I came down here, and my cousin picked me up, took me to the oil rigs, and I found out real quick that that was not the kind of work that I wanted to do. So every night, his wife was having me take them out to dinner. And I come to realize real quick that she was just trying to suck what little bit of money I had right back out of me. So I come downstairs one day and says, hey, I'm broke. The next morning, they dropped me off on Hempstead Highway, and I've never seen them since. So I had a little hotel room there. It was $19 a night, and I didn't have a lot of money, so I was eating every other day. And the first night in that hotel room, I turned the lights off, and I felt things crawling across the top of my bed, and I turned my light back on, and it was just covered in roaches in my bed. So naturally, I slept with the light on. That next morning, I got up, and I saw, the shower there. There was moss all the way around the walls and the floor. There was moss, and there was like a little 12-inch spot where you could stand. And so it was not a very desirable place to be, but this is where I was at. I was trying to find a job. I couldn't locate one. The guy that was in the apartment next to me, or the little motel room next to me, he said, hey, they're hiring where I'm at. So I went on down there, and sure enough, I got the job right off the bat, $4 an hour. And the problem was that I wasn't going to get paid for 2 weeks. And I was running out of money. So I called my mom, and I told her, it's just not working, Mom. I'm going to have to come back home. And I got to, she kept saying, no, you stay there, you be tough, you can do it, you can make it. I broke down in tears. I was just, man, I was all alone. My mom hung up the phone, and that's where it ended, right there. I was stuck. I felt abandoned. I was lonely. I went back into the hotel and just wanted to curl up in a little ball. Well, I was on my way home after a couple days of work, and I had to find a place to sleep. So I was trying to find where I was going to sleep in the ditch. Was I going to sleep underneath the mobile home? I mean, I had to find a place to, for me and my luggage. And all of a sudden, this guy pulled over, and he was in an old beat-up station wagon. And this guy was a flower child from the word go. He was rough-looking, shaggy, grease monkey-looking. And the one thing I remember him telling me, he said that, it looks like you had a lot on your mind. And so I thought, this is do or die. I have nothing else I can do. I have no place to go. So I thought, what, if this guy is a bad man, I had a jackknife in my pocket. I thought, hey, at least I'll have a car. And next thing I know, he's taking me over to his apartment. He's, his wife and daughter are there. He's letting me eat there, taking me to work every morning, picking me up on the way home every night. And he told me, he says, hey, one day if you ever come up with $50, that's what you owe me. Well, next thing I know, he's helping me get a job where he worked. And right there at Joy Petroleum, 9 Pentecostal Bible students from TBC worked. Every time I turned around, I was hearing about Jesus. And I had this one guy that I worked directly with, and he kept inviting me to church. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll come, no problem. Well, then the next Monday, he'd say, hey, man, we missed you. And I was like, I had to come up with some kind of excuse. Well, one day he'd come up to me and he says, hey, I'd like you to come to church. We were working Saturday on overtime. Yeah, not a problem, I'll go. He says, well, I'll pick you up. I was like, oh man, what am I gonna tell Robin? You know, so sure enough, the next morning, he comes an hour and a half early because we didn't really expect that he'd show up. And it was enough time for me to get ready. Robin got ready, and they brought us right here to Royalwood. Brother Haygood was preaching, and we sat down, and there was another guy sitting there from our work, and I don't even know what he preached on. Something about the Godhead. He was so deep, I couldn't understand it. I was bored with the service, but all of a sudden they had an altar call, and the guy in front of me, him and his girlfriend jumped up and ran down there, and I thought, if he can go down there, I can go down there. So I went on down there, and next thing I know, I got people gathering around me. I was like, you know, I was really freaked out. I didn't know what exactly to think. These people are talking to me, and Brother Haygood walked over, and he laid his hands on my head, and he spoke to me. I didn't even know what he said, but all of a sudden, that's when I saw and I met the Lord right there. And I started to weep and cry, and life was totally changing right there. I felt like, man, this was the place. This was a place of safety. This was a house of refuge. This was a place where I started to feel, life was going to completely turn around and everything was going to start heading in the right direction. 6 months trying to seek the Holy Ghost every service, and I never got it. And one service, this little girl got the Holy Ghost, and I got mad. I thought, I've been begging you, God, for the Holy Ghost. I've been doing everything I can. I've been promising you things. I've been giving things up. I've been doing everything I could think of and everything I could possibly say to get the Holy Ghost, and a little girl get the Holy Ghost. There's no way. You love her more than you love me. And I left the church right there, and I didn't go back for 6 months, and I joined Amway, and this one guy at this convention said that, hey, you got to get right with God or you can't do this business. And I thought, oh man, I got to go back to that church because I knew what I had to do. So I called up Texas Bible College and I told them I want a Bible study. Well, a couple weeks later, this couple shows up, Scotty and Lynn Smith. And they came in there and they taught us a Bible study and they invited us to church again. And I came in and they worked with me. They taught us a Bible study. And with time, I got the Holy Ghost right here at Royalwood. Then I found out I was, needed to get married. So Robin and I got married right here with Brother Haygood. And this is where we've been ever since. And all I know is this. No matter what's going on, no matter how severe my life was or how severe your life can be, I know that if I can get to this church, if I can get to the altar and I can raise my arms and start crying out to God, my life can be falling around and falling down all around me. But right here, God makes it right. He will fix it. He'll take care of it. This truly is a city of refuge right here. This is a place where God can put your life back together because He's done it for me. Repeatedly, He stepped up and taken the battle for me in my life. And one thing I know is I'm going to make it to heaven.